Every country on Earth is drowning in debt. The United States, China, Japan, Turkey, the United Kingdom, almost every nation you can name is billions, even trillions, in the red. But here's the paradox. If every country owes money, who is the creditor? Stay until the end, because when you finally learn who owns our debt, your view of the world will never be the same. When we hear debt, we imagine a simple exchange. A friend borrowing from another, a bank lending to a person, a country to another country. Simple, but national debt is not simple. It is a maze, built to confuse. Because if people understood how it truly works, they would question everything. So let's ask the forbidden question. How can every nation be in debt? To who? To Mars? To aliens? No. The answer is hiding in plain sight. It is owed to central banks, institutions that are not elected, not controlled by the public. Yet they control the life force of nations. Money. Central banks create money, governments borrow that money, and we pay for it. Through taxes, through inflation, through our future. When you hear the government is in debt, remember, it is not the government who pays, it is the citizens. It is you. Debt is not a flaw in the system. Debt is the system. A system that ensures the rich stay rich, the powerful stay powerful, and the world stays obedient. Because a nation in debt is a nation controlled. But here's the twist. Central banks are not the top. There is something above them. Something bigger, older, intentionally hidden. To uncover the truth, we must go back to 1971. Richard Nixon ended the gold standard. Money was no longer backed by gold. It became a belief, a number, a promise. Money became debt, and debt became the engine that powers the global economy. Every new dollar is born as debt. Loans create money, money creates more loans. A loop, a cycle, a trap. So, who profits from this trap? Not governments, not citizens. The creditors are the institutions that issue the debt, central banks, and the private shareholders behind them. You are not meant to know their names. Because if the world discovered the true structure of global power, the illusion would collapse. Imagine a giant pyramid. At the bottom, nations, struggling to pay their debts. Above them, commercial banks. Above them, central banks, printing money from nothing. And at the top, a name most people have never heard. The Bank for International Settlements, the BIS in Basel, Switzerland. The central bank of central banks. No elections, no public control. Yet it writes the rules for every major currency on Earth. The world's financial traffic controller. Above even them, private power, dynasties, shareholders, not seen, not elected, but always collecting. They lend money. That doesn't exist. And nations pay it back with real interest. Debt becomes profit, and humanity becomes the guaranteed customer. Every newborn child enters this world already owing something. You don't choose it, you inherit it. So we return to our question. If every country is in debt, who is the creditor? The creditor is the system itself, a machine that feeds on debt, a machine built to keep humanity in permanent obligation. We don't owe money to a country, or a leader, or a nation. We owe it to a global structure designed to keep us borrowing. Because if debt stops, the money supply collapses. If the world paid off its debt today, no money would remain. Money is debt. Debt is money. That is the trap. So ask yourself, if money comes from debt, and debt controls the world, who truly owns the future? Maybe not countries. Maybe not governments. Maybe the real world map is not drawn by borders, but by balance sheets. And the ones holding the pen are the true rulers of Earth. We live under the rule of an invisible master, debt. And the creditor remains in the shadows, watching, collecting, controlling. If you're still here, you're one of the few who sees through the illusion. Join us, subscribe to Echoes of Time, and learn the truths that shape our world. Because history is not what we're told.